The NBA is investigating betting irregularities, particularly for two games via DraftKings involving Toronto Raptors forward Jontay Porter. You've already heard the story by now. It was broken on ESPN. Jontay obviously has been out for the last two games, listed out with personal reasons, but I think we know what those personal reasons are right now. And yeah, I just wanted to get your general thoughts because for me, being down in the arena last night, seeing this story break in real time, it broke around 5:30-ish, which is usually when everyone's just kind of mingling around in the tunnels of the Scotiabank Arena. Seeing that news break in real time and seeing people sort of like run around and scramble and just sort of figure out what's going on was quite the experience. But I wanted to get your thoughts, Blake, on the allegations around Jontay Porter.
Yeah, I mean, foremost, it felt like something like this was bound to happen eventually in the NBA. We've seen on the NFL side, Calvin Ridley suspended for the entire 2022 season for placing parlays not on his team while he was on the injured list. Last year, an additional 10 NFL players were suspended over the course of the 2023 calendar year, to where at the end of the season, the NFL had to rework its gambling policy and make it more strict on players betting on NFL action, harsher automatic punishments and things like that. Of course, the main sports news cycle outside of March Madness this last week or so has also been Shohei Ohtani and the accusations against his interpreter, whether that's for the gambling side of that, for the theft from Shohei Ohtani to cover the gambling losses. And the reality of this is, as sports betting becomes kind of more and more omnipresent around sports and sports culture, it felt like something like this was probably going to happen eventually. Unfortunately, the league and the players union for decades, honestly, well before sports betting was legal in some states or legal in Canada, have been trying to educate players about this. There's obviously the Tim Donaghy scandal from a decade back or so, but the NBA and NBPA have tried to be on top of this for a very, very long time, because sports betting has existed and the incentives or risks to have guys do this have existed long before this stuff was legal and omnipresent. But that kind of heavy presence obviously makes it more front of mind, more accessible, and things like that. So that's one thought on this. The second is that this is incredibly disappointing. It would be an incredibly disappointing error in judgment if this is true. By the way, we should say there are right now, they're investigating the betting irregularities. Jontay Porter is being held out of action while that goes on. But there is nothing to say at this point in the process that Jontay placed those bets or XYZ happened. So this is all just alleged right now. If what is alleged is true and it traces back to Jontay not only having, a lot, whether placing the bets themselves or enticing other people to bet, and the implication here being that, he knowingly pulled himself out of games and hit his unders, that would be any sort of gambling that violates the league and union agreed upon rules would be a really disappointing error in judgment. Betting on yourself, on your own team, while you could understand it, would be a very disappointing error in judgment. But what is implied here through and will be alleged here is that you knowingly bet against yourself and withdrew your performance from the team. So again, nobody is yet to say that, hey, Jontay bet on this and intentionally did this. It could be something, there are other explanations, though they feel less plausible with the information that we have right now. Regardless, this is incredibly disappointing for the league, for the team, for Jontay Porter. If what is alleged can be traced back to his actions and him having knowledge of that, it's just a huge error in judgment. You could even get into the risk reward part of it. Like, obviously, ethically, it's really bad, but also like your judgment in terms of what the future of your career looks like versus what you're making off of this. There's no way around how disappointing this is, and unfortunately, how kind of inevitable it has felt. Not necessarily with Jontay, but as this stuff kind of continues to pick up steam around sports.
Okay, Vivek, what was your reaction when you saw this break last night?
It's just sad. When you think of the disappointing factor, you think of the way that, he's worked his way back into the league and the things that he's been through injury-wise, and just to have this opportunity again to potentially throw it away. Again, we don't know what's going to come of the investigation. I think it would just be a sad way for things to play out after, you think about all the things that have gone wrong for the Raptors this season. Among the few things that have gone right is this Jontay Porter feel-good story. And so if it were to end this way, it would be extremely disappointing. for me, I think whichever way this plays out, the NBA has to recognize its part in this and the possibility of this. And I think they have to take serious measures. You ask about, what are some of the first things I thought about? I was a kid watching cricket, and there was a huge match fixing scandal that broke out in the early 2000s.
Okay.
And there were big players involved who got banned for life. One was the captain of the Indian cricket team. Like we were talking about,
Right.
big players.
Right, of course.
I don't think there'll be that necessarily to worry about because cricketers weren't making as much money at the time, and here the best players in the league are very well taken care of.
Yeah.
So I don't think they'll be carried away with bookies and things like that. But I think, especially the second round picks, especially guys on 10-day contracts, those are the ones that bookies will be circling like sharks, and they'll be saying, okay, can we get in with any of these guys and try to work our way in. And I think that's where you have to be careful. Cricket, once that broke out, they created an entire anti-corruption team to make sure none of this happens again. Right. And so I think the NBA has to be very serious in terms of mitigating this stuff completely, doing whatever they can to keep these players out of the loop.